Hey guys, it's Mari Juliette here with Mari Juliette Real Estate. Usually this podcast is a little bit more about my evolution of confidence and talking to other young entrepreneurs about their evolution of confidence and what brought them to their success today. But today I want to talk a little bit more about real estate and what makes a real estate agent great, what makes somebody a top agent as opposed to somebody who does not produce. It's just completely something that a lot of people ask me, and it's kind of a mystery because a huge majority of people, of agents that get their license in the first year don't make it past the first year. I think it's like 80 something, 90%. So I've been kind of doing my research on my end as far as hiring for my own brokerage. And over the years, I've had several agents work for me, with me, in different capacities. And I think I've gained some knowledge on the subject. So I'd love to share it with you guys. And maybe this will open your eyes to see whether or not real estate is the right career for you. I'm going to start off with a bold statement. Participation trophies have ruined our work ethic. They really have. I mean, I don't know if that's a direct correlation to what I'm seeing, but there are a lot of agents who come to me, get their license, everything. They're super excited. And listen, the licensing is the first step. And I think that that's super, super important for a lot of agents to realize. And I am tough love. I have a tough love personality, but that's kind of what you need in real estate because your clients are going to be tough with you, and you have to have a thick skin, and you have to be able to be okay when things don't work out in your favor, because a lot of times they won't, and your emotions and the way that you handle your own emotions is the key here. You have to be really, really secure and have a good mindset to be able to handle the ups and downs of real estate. But the reason I'm saying the participation trophy part is an issue is because a lot of agents think that the number of hours that they put into this business is going to equate to the number of dollars that they get. And it's understandable that they would think that because everyone says, it's the amount of work you put in is what you get out, which is true in a sense. However, if you put 40 hours a week into real estate, it serves as zero guarantee for you making even a single dollar. So I really, really think it's important for agents to understand that this is a results-driven business. You have to actually have the results to make money. The participation means virtually nothing at the end of the day if you aren't able to have anything to show for it. So what I see a lot is agents coming in, they're working so hard, they're putting in the hours, they're sending out properties, they're doing this, they're doing that. But at the end of the day, if you don't know how to transition from a relationship to a transaction or deliver what the client is asking for successfully, then you failed. That's just the bottom line. So that's really what I see. On the other end of the spectrum, though, the people who, they might not even have sales experience. They might not even have, been inside a house that's not their own. But those people who understand how to get the result and they know how to transition and they know how to utilize their relationships the right way and find what the client's asking for, be direct, move on to the next thing quickly. Those are the people who are successful agents and who do really well, even in the first 5-6 months of being licensed. So it really does depend on your ability to see that big picture. And instead of calculating every little commission and really stressing over that, look at the big picture. Build your business and your relationships and build that business. And then you will close those deals. But you have to learn how to do that, and you have to know how to do that. And honestly, I learned all of that when I was in sales. I was in sales for almost 10 years before I started real estate. And not 10 years, probably 7-8 years. Anyway, I learned from them telling me, you can be great at making relationships all day long and you can be their best friend, But if you don't know how to transition that relationship into a transaction, you're going to be broke. And that's the reality. And that's why there are a lot of broke agents and agents who are chasing their tail thinking, what am I doing wrong? And getting really discouraged. And this is a video meant to help those people. This is not to put down the people that cannot see the results. Because listen, all it takes is somebody telling them, you need to be able to transition. You have to learn how to transition and make it happen. And then once you do make that first sale, and once you do make that first transaction successfully to closing, you become addicted. You're like, when's the next one? When's the next one? And then you have that result in your mind. And what I really want to challenge you guys, because I want to give you guys some like tangible advice, when you are able, this is why I'm always saying, write down your goals. Like before I go on a showing, I write down, I'm going to sell this house, because I know that gives me a purpose. Now I'm going into that showing. I'm not just like, oh, got to be there at 2:30. Like I'm going there with a purpose. I'm listening to music to hype myself up on the way. I'm like, I'm going to sell this thing because blah, 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 because of this, because of that. You go there with a purpose, and do that with everything. It doesn't matter if it's a showing, if it's a closing, if it's an inspection you're just going to sit there for. Go to things with a purpose. And I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. Now, every agent is guilty of this, but some are worse perpetrators than others. And this is something that I've really tried to work on in my life. And that is complaining. So complaining in real estate is super, super common. And I think it's common in any workspace, honestly, because people just have a negative connotation when it comes to work most of the time. However, in my perspective, I feel really lucky to be in this field, to be in real estate. I think it's a fun business. I think there's so many positives to it. You can be so autonomous. It's really an amazing field. And things really changed for me when I realized that complaining was just putting this like negative cloud over myself and my business. And I'm telling you, it is so addictive for people. Like, especially when agents are talking to agents and you get on a kick and you're like, well, this person did this, and then they're like, oh, well, listen to this and listen to this. You could be sitting there complaining about your deals and your clients and whatever for forever if you let that happen. For me, in my office, it's like a rule. I don't want any complaining at all. Because these clients and these people that you're complaining about are at the end of the day, in one way or the other, paying your bills. So don't bite the hand that feeds you kind of thing. And it's just a habit. Like there's no reason for it. You should feel grateful and lucky to have whatever business it is that you have. And when you really work for your business too, when you really like care, you are not complaining in that way either, because you're grateful for the business. You understand how much it takes just to get a client to start working with you, especially in the beginning. Like every client that I got, I just cherished, because it was really, really difficult to build the book of business when I first started. I mean, I was literally walking around in the sun just trying to get people to talk to me. And, and like looking back, I'm like, that was, and I still now I have the same mindset. Like I care so much about these people and whether they're going to get the property that they want or not. And, I'm on that end of the spectrum where I'm like really intensely care, and I don't expect everyone to be that way. However, it is, you're helping somebody buy maybe their first or their fifth primary residence, or it's their first investment, or it's, you're using that money that they could have used for their kids' school for a house to buy with you. Like things like that you have to think about and like care about the person, because I hear so much of like agents just complaining and like, oh, they wanted me to take them to 5 different properties in one day. That's your job. That's literally your job. So why are you complaining about the job that you signed up for to do? You got licensed, you went on and said, oh, I'm a realtor, but now you're complaining about the person that wants to hire you? Like, let's shift our focus a little bit, and I really hope that this encourages people to, like, look at themselves and say, hello, what am I doing? Because you're kicking yourself in the foot, because you're just bringing negativity into your own life. And if you really flip the script and say, I'm so grateful every time you feel like complaining to your coworker, and I think that is a huge part of it too, like the camaraderie with agents. Sometimes you just, it can become a topic and then people can't get off it kind of thing. So I really, really challenge you guys to turn your like complaints into gratitude, because at the end of the day, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of real estate agents, especially in South Florida. So if you don't want the business and you're going to complain about it, somebody else will gladly take it with a smile on their face any day of the week. I'm sorry, but I get like really passionate about this because it bothers me. It's like, why are you complaining? You're going to make money and you're going to help somebody. Like, all's okay. This is a fun business. Again, at the end of the day, you're not sitting behind a desk like you didn't want to do, and that's why you got this job, I'm going on a rant, but I think you guys get the point. So now that I'm done with my rant, I just want to give you guys some advice. So for those of you who reach out to me on a daily basis about asking about how to get business, like how do I get business? And of course, this market is completely different from the market that I started in 4 years ago. But here's my suggestion. So obviously I do a lot on social media. So social media is a fantastic outlet to connect with people, for sure. However, when I started, it was all like face-to-face, door-to-door, that kind of stuff. And now that, we're having more restrictions now with COVID and everything, but hopefully once those lift more, I think people are going to be craving that human interaction, honestly. And I think that this is the time to connect with people, and don't be afraid. Like, don't be afraid. If you're sitting on your couch right now and you're like, oh, I don't have any business and I have my license or whatever, go on a walk. Go meet people in your neighborhood. They're walking around all day long, I promise you. They're walking their dogs. You can start up random conversations with them. They love to talk to you. Go to your local diner at 7 a.m. Someone taught me this. A developer taught me this a few years ago, and it was the best piece of advice ever. Go to a diner at like 7 a.m., the same one a few times a week. You're going to see the same regulars there every day. They are older people usually, and they have so much wisdom, and just sit and talk to them. That's probably the best advice you could get, much better than my advice. Learning from older people who have done what you're trying to do or know someone who has, or, it is the most valuable information I've ever gotten. And especially with my clients, like all of my clients I learn from, and I ask them questions specifically because I want to learn from them, because I know that they own this company or did this or whatever. Like, I want to know their story and how they got to that point. It doesn't even matter what they do. Everybody has something that you can learn from. But honestly, that diner tip is like, that's a great tip right there. I'm not going to lie to you. Also, taking care of your mental health and your mental space, like go on a walk every day, move your body. Real estate can be really sporadic, like you don't really have a schedule. So try to make some kind of structure in your life, whether it's working out every morning or, do whatever it is you want to do. But having a structure in real estate can really help motivate you if you're not the kind of person that can just, let the day go and be what it is. If you create some kind of to-do list, some kind of structure in your day-to-day, you'll feel more productive and you will be more productive. So I'm leaving you guys with that. I hope that this was helpful for you. Love you guys. Have a good day and a good Monday. And yeah, bye. Thank you for listening. If you want more tips and tricks on how I built my business in real estate organically without ever paying for leads on Zillow, Realtor.com, any of that, all of my business has been organic. If you want to learn how, my website is learn.marijuliette.com. Learn.marijuliette.com. Use the code 111 for 30% off. This bootcamp is going to be like your head start. So if you want to compete with all the other agents out there, you need this bootcamp. It never expires, and it's meant to be referred back to throughout your career, especially to help your mindset. I have a whole segment just on mindset, but there's 43 modules of information in this bootcamp. It's a one-time purchase, no monthly membership, anything like that. Love you guys and have a great day and be productive. Bye.